We're diving into the all-new Philadelphia Eagles today. No matter where you're tuning in from, thanks for making this part of your day. We've got some exciting news and a few challenges for the Eagles as they head into the 2025 NFL Draft and the upcoming season. So stick around for all the details. Let's kick things off with today's poll question. Check out this hoodie, Eagles Super Bowl 59 champions. As we look ahead to next year, I want to know your confidence level in the Eagles repeating as champions. On a scale from 1 to 100, where do you stand? 1 means you're not confident at all, while 100 means you're supremely confident. Could this be the start of a dynasty for the Philadelphia Eagles? When we look at the metric known as snap-weighted age, SWA, the Eagles had the third youngest roster in the NFL last year, especially after their impressive performance against the Kansas City Chiefs. So what exactly is SWA? It's a statistic that calculates a team's average player age based on the number of snaps each player takes, rather than just averaging the ages of all players on the roster. Each player's age is weighted by their snap count during the regular season, and then those weighted ages are averaged to determine the team's overall SWA. This metric is crucial for understanding a team's age profile, predicting future performance, and identifying areas for improvement, like addressing aging players or targeting specific positions in the draft. It's important from both a macro and micro perspective. Now, the Eagles have let go of several key players this offseason, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. Despite that, they remain one of the youngest and most talented teams in the NFL as they head into 2025. While there are some needs on the roster, there aren't any glaring weaknesses. If they can stay healthy, Philadelphia has a fantastic opportunity to make a dynastic run and compete for a second consecutive Lombardi trophy. Let's take a closer look at the SWA. On your screen now, you'll see the oldest teams ranked by their snap-weighted average. The Miami Dolphins top the list with a total SWA of 27 years and 8 months. Now, looking at the Eagles, they have the third lowest SWA with a total of 25 years and 9 months, ranking 30th out of 32 teams in the NFL. Their offensive SWA is 26.5 years, ranking 17th, while their defensive SWA is 25.6 years, placing them 30th. This data highlights the youth on the Eagles roster. Their special teams SWA is 25 years and 2 months, ranking 31st with only the Las Vegas Raiders and Green Bay Packers being younger. If you've been trying to understand the Eagles' offseason moves and Howie Roseman's strategy, this information sheds light on their plan. The Eagles are focused on developing their young talent, allowing them to become core pieces of the team and giving more playing time to those who haven't seen much action yet. They have confidence in their player evaluations and are committed to building a strong future. The Eagles organization understands that even though they've let some players go, it's all part of a strategy to save money for the future. This will allow them to pay their homegrown talent for contract extensions. Some of the key players up for extensions include Reed Blankenship, who is emerging as one of the top young safeties in the NFL. I posted over the weekend that he might be the most underrated player on this Eagles roster. Other players to keep an eye on include Cam Jurgens, who is entering the final year of his deal, and Jalen Carter, who could command between $30 and $40 million per season. If Nolan Smith makes another leap from year 2 to year 3, he'll also be in line for a big payday. Jordan Davis is another name to consider in this mix. These 5 players are crucial for the Eagles' future. Now let's take a look at the ages of the Eagles by position group, which gives us insight into the team's overall youth and potential for success. Howie Roseman has done an impressive job constructing this roster. Here's the breakdown. Quarterbacks, 25.8 years. Running backs, 26.2 years. Wide receivers, 25.4 years. Tight ends, 27.2 years. Offensive line, 27.1 years. Defensive line, 23.8 years. Edge rushers, 26.7 years. Linebackers, 26.1 years. Defensive backs, 25.8 years. Special teams, 28.9 years. None of these groups are close to 30 years old, which is a positive sign for the Eagles' future. Let's highlight some of the marquee young players on this roster who are likely to be foundational pieces moving forward. Cooper DeJean, Keely Ringo, Will Shipley, and Jeremiah Trotter Jr. are all just 22 years old. Queenan Mitchell, Eli Rex, and others are 23. Jalen Carter, Nakobe Dean, and Nolan Smith are all 24. Sidney Brown, Jordan Davis, and Cam Jurgens are 25, while Reed Blankenship, Landon Dickerson, Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith, and Josh Sweat are 26. A.J. Brown is still only 27, even though it feels like he's been in the league forever. Saquon Barkley will turn 29 this year, while Zach Bond and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah are also 28. Jake Elliott and Dallas Goedert are 30 and the elder statesman of the team. Now that Brandon Graham has retired, is Lane Johnson at 34. Despite his age, he's still playing at an incredibly high level. As an Eagles fan, this should give you plenty of reasons to feel optimistic. If this roster can stay healthy, they have the potential to remain competitive and in championship contention for years to come. If you're enjoying the coverage today and want the best insights on the Eagles year-round, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. And of course, go Birds! If you want to be part of the action, make sure to download the Game Time app. Right now, you can save up to 60% on last-minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater events, and much more. The app highlights the best deals in the stadium, and it features a cool option called Zone Deals, where you can save even more by selecting a section and letting Game Time choose your seats. With all-in pricing, you'll see your total up front, so there are no surprise fees at checkout. Game Time also guarantees the lowest prices, or they'll credit you up to 110% of the difference. You don't want to miss out on what Game Time has to offer. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets and download the app today. Now let's dive into the second half of the show. If you're still with us, drop a real one in the comments below. How can you not soak up every moment of what we bring you here? We're keeping the energy high as we look ahead to the 2025 NFL Draft. Unfortunately, there's some not-so-great news for the Philadelphia Eagles. Reports suggest that Penn State edge rusher Abdul Carter could be drafted by the New York Giants. Adam Schefter reported on April 7th that Carter, the #1 player on my board, had breakfast with Giants head coach Brian Daboll in State College. He's also scheduled to visit the Giants in New Jersey on Thursday, and it looks like he's set to be a top 3 pick. As we approach the draft, things can change, but I believe the top 3 picks could shape up like this. Cam Ward to the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee brought in Brandon Allen to their quarterback room this offseason, but they haven't made any other moves. They've focused on strengthening their offensive and defensive lines. And with Brian Callahan, an offensive mind from the Zach Taylor tree, as their head coach, they're looking for a new QB. Will Levis isn't the answer, but Cam Ward is my top quarterback in this draft class. He had a fantastic pro day, and it's no secret that the Titans are likely to take him with the first overall pick. Next up, Travis Hunter could go to the Cleveland Browns at number 2 or the Giants at number 3. There's a lot of buzz this week about the Browns being interested in him, especially as a wide receiver. I believe he has the potential to play both ways at the NFL level, but managing his snap count will be crucial. It's tough to handle the speed and physicality of the NFL while playing 2 positions, so he might need to be on a bit of a pitch count, to use a baseball term. Hunter is a generational talent and fits what the Browns need at wide receiver, a marketable face for a franchise that could certainly use one. If this all plays out, it likely means Abdul Carter will end up with the Giants at number 3. If the New York Giants decide to go with the best player available, it could be a tough break for the Eagles for a couple of reasons. Abdul Carter, who grew up a diehard Eagles fan, attended LaSalle High School and then went on to Penn State. He even took his dad to the Superdome in New Orleans to watch the Eagles take down the Kansas City Chiefs. He's expressed that playing for the Eagles would be a dream come true. If he ends up with the Giants, the Eagles will have to face him twice a year, which would be frustrating, not just because of his connection to Philadelphia, but also because he's an outstanding player. Moreover, if the Giants bolster their pass rush with Carter, they could become a formidable force. You know I believe in building teams from the trenches, just like Andy Reid and Howie Roseman do. Once you find your quarterback, it's all about constructing a strong foundation. We saw how the Eagles dominated in the Super Bowl, and if the Giants can enhance their pass rush with players like Brian Burns, one of the top edge rushers in the league, and Dexter Lawrence, arguably the best nose tackle in the game, they could be a serious threat. Kayvon Thibodeau needs to step up, but he has shown flashes of brilliance. Adding Abdul Carter to that mix could create a pass-rushing combination that Philadelphia will have to game plan against. Think back to how the Eagles won Super Bowl 59. They didn't blitz once. They generated 25 pressures with just their front four against Patrick Mahomes, dominating the trenches with players like Brandon Graham, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, and others. They made Mahomes look flustered, leading to 2 interceptions and a strip sack where Jalen Carter practically knocked him off his game. The Giants could replicate that kind of dominance with a strong front, and that's something to watch out for. Now, I'm not overly impressed with what the Giants have done this offseason. Joe Schoen, their general manager, sometimes gets a pass for being a likable guy, but he knows his seat is getting warm as we head into 2025. They've spent a lot of money on players, and I think they've overpaid for many of them. Having Russell Wilson as your starting quarterback doesn't inspire confidence for the upcoming season, which suggests they still haven't found their future QB. Building up the defensive line is a solid strategy, and I see Abdul Carter as a blue-chip player, a game changer. There aren't many players of his caliber in this draft class. What's impressive is that he switched to full-time edge rusher just this past year at Penn State, standing at 6 feet 3 inches and weighing 252 pounds. There may be some questions about his weight, especially since he didn't participate in the combine or his pro day due to lingering shoulder and foot issues. Those are concerns, but he has the burst, speed, and bend to excel at the edge position. In 2024, he recorded 12 sacks, 43 hurries, and an impressive Pro Football Focus grade of 91.2. Even while dealing with a shoulder injury during the college football playoff, he was still able to disrupt offenses. He's the kind of player who can truly change the game. Players like Abdul Carter don't come around every year. They're special talents that emerge every few seasons. That's why Drew Rosenhaus, one of the top agents in the game, is representing him. He knows talent when he sees it and understands the potential for a big payday. In addition to those 12 sacks, Carter had 66 pressures, 4 pass breakups, and 2 forced fumbles. Even in 2023, when he wasn't a full-time edge rusher, he still managed 6 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks, and 28 pressures. The year before, he had 11 tackles for loss, 6.5 sacks, and 20 pressures. Over his Penn State career, he played 42 games, averaging a sack every other game and racking up 114 pressures. Pretty impressive numbers. But breaking news just came in. A photo has leaked of Abdul Carter in a gas mask. This could mean the Giants might have to reconsider taking him at number 3. Share this on social media and let everyone know, including the Giants, that Abdul Carter is now undraftable until the Eagles pick at 32 overall. If you're all about the Eagles, drop a Go Birds in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll catch you next time.